Welcome back to another episode of 2 Minute Tuesdays. We have launched Fund 3, and the very first acquisition in our offering is Paradise North, which is located here in North Phoenix. What kind of drew your attention or caught your interest in this asset?
Yeah, well, Randy, I think there's three things here, but one of them is off-market transactions. The second thing is the presence of seller financing. And then the type of upside. So operational upside versus more heavy lifting. So let's walk through each one of those, Randy.
A lot of investors that I talk to hear the term off market and they think that brokers are not involved if it is off market. Can you talk to that a little bit?
The relationship with the owner is ultimately what led us to being able to be chosen as the buyer. Nate knew her for 9 years. I probably had a 7-year relationship with her, so much so that she knew the names of my children. A close relationship typically is a big piece, and that's a lot of investment of time. But there were also brokers involved in this one. But at the end of the day, the only one invited to sit down to dinner and talk terms of a deal was 5210.
Now, when you get to sit down at dinner and have those conversations, this idea of seller finance comes up. Can you dig in as to why that's such an important piece of this equation?
I think there's several pieces here. For us, seller financing gives us certainty with respect to how much capital we're going to have to put down, what the loan size is going to be, how long that loan is going to be, and what the terms or the interest rate is going to be.
Now, in this asset specifically, we're at 98% occupied day one. So we've got very low execution risk from a value add standpoint, but there is still some risk from an operational standpoint. Can you talk about how that applies to this specific asset?
Yes. One is operational. So you're reducing expenses and you're increasing income. The other category is physical upside, which typically means you're developing lots or you're bringing in new homes and setting them up. There's kind of a heavy lifting, roll up your sleeves physical component that's required there. And there's a market demand component that's really important when you're doing physical improvements to a property. So this park and the follow-on parks in Fund 3, they're more operational. It's easier to execute, so there's really low execution risk here.
Fantastic. Yeah, so it's clear why we're excited about this asset and the assets that follow in Fund 3. Jack, thank you for bringing your perspective on this asset. And as always, to the audience, thank you for joining us here on 2 Minute Tuesday. And be sure to join us again next Tuesday for another great episode.